Hello everybody. So I've got a few molds that I want to try out today. So this one is a Christmas mold. You make it up into a box type thing by making these and then sort of two bits. So you make four and then you go around and then you put your tea light. It's going to be a LED one. Resin doesn't like heat, so I think that the heat from an actual tea light would cause the resin to soften, which I don't really want. So I've got the sides and the top and bottom for that. I've got a snowflake I'd like to make just there. I've got a bear. Now I've got a big version of this bear, so I'd like to make the little version and see how that is. I've got a pour jar. So we've got the base and then we've got the lid, so you can sort of see on that side how it's going to be. So what I'm wanting is, I think I want the green being the Christmassy side of things, but I also want to try glitter. So that means I need to use Elmer's glue, and I just need to put literally a couple of drops into my resin, because that's how you get the glitter to not sink. Otherwise, if you put it in to just plain resin without the glue, then when you finish your project, all your glitter will have sunk to the bottom, which sometimes it looks okay, but in this instance I don't want my glitter to have just sunk to the bottom. So I'm going to put in some mica powder and then we'll give that a mix, and then we'll put in some glitter. So we're just going to get a stirrer and we're just going to give that a good stir. So you can see that the glue has literally made it gluggy. And that's what is supposed to keep the glitter within the glue. So we're going to try that and hope that that works. I haven't done it myself. I've just seen a number of YouTube videos where that's how they've done it. You really only need one. I probably would have only needed one drop for that because of the amount of resin I've got there, but I put a bit more than that. So we're just going to drop some of this beautiful glitter in. It's got purples and blues, my favourite colours, so of course my big pot of glitter is going to be that. So I've got some little pots of other colours which I'll probably use for other projects as well. Now, because this is so gluey, it's going to be hard to actually pour, thinking about it now. What I might do is I might pour the base, mainly because it's just a base, so it doesn't need much in the way of, oh my gosh, this is just horrible. Really did put too much glue in. So we're going to do another batch shortly, and we're just going to put a very little bit of glue in, because this is just like slime, as you can see. No way I could pour this into a very detailed mold. So I will try again with only getting one drop rather than a number of drops coming out at the same time. So we're just going to go with that at this stage. I think I'm just going to get that bubble there, that one there, that one there. I'm just going to move that over to there. Okay, so we have another container here of resin. I'm just going to put that over there, out of the way. And we're going to get our other container, and we're going to try for just the one drop. There it is, one drop. I think I might go with the green again and pour the lid, and that way we can use some of the excess if there is any, because the lid's a bit smaller though it is raised up a bit more, to just top off that base. So we'll go another one scoop. We're going with Another 1 scoop of this. Well, about a quarter of a scoop, I think it is. So now we're going to go back with our stirrer. It doesn't matter too much, but that's not as gloopy, so you can see it actually does pour. So that's what you need. You only need, it's still sticking together, but it's not as bad. So you only need the 1 drop. Okay, so we'll go in with the lid. Again, it's still coming out. Just going to use some more of this, just to make sure we've got it right to the top. And then fill this off. Okay. Someone else sort of said that you could do it where you basically partially have it set and then put some glitter in. I'm not sure about that way. If you put the glitter on at the end, then it's not going to be sealed within the resin. So I think I'm just going to do the whole thing green so that I can sort of try different ways. So let's just add a little bit of green there. I'm going to need a little stirrer. Let's just do this one. Give that a little stir. I might have filled it up a bit too much. And those will come out in your project if you don't mix them in, so you really need to get that mica powder mixed in really well. I think that's it. Just put that in there. Okay. Now, fine detail of trying to get all this in the right places. You know, I've done this green and I'm still in 2 minds as to whether I want to do like, say, green and red for Christmas colours, or I'm not sure I want an all green mold. That's decoration, that's all. So I haven't tried these molds before, so I'm not sure how they're going to come out. So there's a lot of sort of spaces in this one, if you know what I mean, like little areas to try and fill in. So just try and make sure all of that is in all those little areas. Last little bit out. Yeah. It's just trying to think of what I want to do. What I'm going to just do here, now I shouldn't have filled it so much, but it's a bit late now. I'm just going to get in here as best we can. It's very hard doing it this way because of course you can see you get big clumps, but still it's just trying a bit of difference into the mold. Just put that in there. The main reason for this is that forgot to mix it into the resin. So we're trying it this way just to see if we can get it to go through. So we're just going to give it a bit of a mix in. Here we go, there's a red. So we're going to get some more resin. I'm going to tip some more into here. Now I'm probably going to have to do this in some stages because I haven't mixed up enough resin. So okay, we're going to put that there, that over there. Now in this one, we're going to put that glitter in at this stage. Now, the walls, if you just remember, we did not use glue. Okay, so that'll show you at the end the effect. Now this, of course, may not show up in the red as well because red's a darker colour, but we will try our best to come out. Okay, now it's time for the mixing. Right, here we go. Probably should have a smaller mixer, but it's too late now. Put it in. I'll just see how this comes out when we pour it. It's actually not bad. So yeah, I think this is going to be fine. Just try and get it all into where it needs to be. Okay, so there's those two. What I'm going to do is, as I said, I'm going to do the two more in the same sort of colours. So I will put you on pause and I will go off and do that now. Okay, so I have finished the four. So we're just letting those set, which of course will take till overnight. I've mixed up some more resin. I'm going to use my purple because I've got lots of it, and as you have already probably heard, purple is my favourite colour. So I'm just going to move these resins off to the side. Just might take that one because it's fuller. So what we're going to do is we are going to be trying out the paw print mold now, and we're going to be doing it in purple. So get a bit of purple in there. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to put glitter in it or not. The problem being the whole pouring process, but we'll see. We'll mix this up first. So we've decided, even though it's purple and purple glitter, so maybe not. Maybe we need a different coloured glitter. Let me think. I've got some silver glitter there. Maybe that'll work. Is that? Sorry, I'm getting a bit sticky here. Yeah, there's some silvery glitter. We'll try that. So sort of like a clear purple as well, so it should be quite good with glitter in it. So we're going to do, oops, one drop. I'm going to get a spoon, and I'm going to put two glitter in. See how we go with that. Okay, let's have a look at this. Here we go. I like that. That's looking quite nice. So now we'll just pour it into our mould. Just pour it from the top so that it can work its way down. Just give it time to work its way down. Okay. So it's quite deep. So we're just going to do slowly pouring. You can see just the sides there, but it's coming up to the top. So just almost to the top now. This might just be the right amount, I think. So just try and get as much out of this as possible, which is pretty much to the top anyway. So just gently move it out to there. So I'm just going to give some of these a little bit of a, just to make sure that we're getting all that resin down in there, and also to make sure that any air bubbles are coming out, because that's where they're going to be trapped, is in these corner bits. So we're just sort of doing this so that we can just make sure we're getting it all to redistribute, and so that any air bubbles will come out of there. So I'm just going to try and get all of that. Okay, let's leave that one. Now we still need to make the lid. Oops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up this colour again. Even I could make some actual, what are they, snowflakes? Christmas snowflakes in this colour. Or the dragons that I have. So we're just going to get the colour again, get the lid. Little snowflake. They do that different snowflake as well. Mix all that in. We're going to add a drop of glue, which is of course going to make it hard for the snowflake, but that's okay. One drop. If one drop isn't enough and the glitter sort of sinks, it's not really a problem, especially not with the snowflake, and again with the lid, because that's going to be where it sits anyway. I'm just going to put a bit more in. So I think one drop will be enough, but just in case it doesn't matter too much, we can make do. Okay, here we go with the lid. I'm just going to try and get as much of that out without overflowing it as possible. For some reason that's very, it looks like it's put more than that. Okay, so we managed to pour the pot, the snowflake, which I'm just not so sure about. Some of those areas look to be, so I'm just going to poke some of those to make sure that the resin gets in to those little areas. You can see sort of down there. Just making sure it gets right down into those areas. Got the paw print jar. We managed to get the two dragons. So we've still got a pot of resin left. We're going to do pink, and we're going to do the pen polish, and then we'll see what we've got left at the end of that. Now with this one, I'm going to put the pink in. I'm going to put glitter in it, but I'm not putting any glue. So we're going to show the effect of what all of these are going to look like, having done the different ways with glue, with too much glue, glue at the beginning, glue at the end, sort of side of things. So this is just going to be straight resin, mica powder. We're going to then add the glitter. So I'm not sure, I haven't used any of this glitter before in any project, so I'm not sure if it's usually sinks or doesn't sink, but it does have some fairly big chunky bits in it, so I'd gather that if any glitter is going to sink, this probably would. So if it does, it means it's going to put a ring around the top of this pen pot, which isn't such a bad thing. So we're just right, here we go. Just slowly pour, because we need it to actually go down into the bottom and start filling up. So if we pour fast, of course, it's then going to just overflow, and we don't want that. So we need to do a slow pour just to get it right down into the bottom. You can see it's starting to come up from the bottom here. Yes, we're going to have enough, thank goodness. Just need to get it right to the top. And that's it. Okay, so what I might do is just gently try and move that. Try and get some of those little bits down the bottom there. Again, just to make sure that we're trying to get any bubbles from the bottom up. Now we're going to try and do some beads with this leftovers. Pouring these beads, of course they're fine and fiddly, so it'll take a bit, and then we'll leave all this to cure and come back in the morning and see how it all is. I'll continue to use the long neck lighter, of course, to get rid of any bubbles, so we'll see you soon. Okay, good morning everybody. So today is demold. Okay, well let's start with this little one. It's actually got these fold over bits on it. So I think that's going to be quite difficult to get out, because you're going to have to sort of go around. Oh, just like that. Yeah, okay. So that is how I'm going to have to do it. So you have to get all those bits out of there. So, sorry, this is going to be a bit slow because it's a case of getting all those pieces out. So, sorry about that. There. And last little bit. Right, so there we go. Then there's your little star. On to the next one. Let's do these little guys here. These shouldn't be too difficult because, unlike the star, they don't have all that overhang area. There we go. They're quite cute. Just like that. So just bring it up a bit closer. You can see sort of legs there. So yeah, it's just that one there. I actually might move these back onto here just so that you can see them. Okay, there's two of those. So here's that one there. Right. So, right, let's try this. All right, there we have the base. So let's take out some sides. They're still a little bendy, but so then what should happen is it should just slot into there like that, and then you're going to have Just try and get that, the 4 of them, and then of course the roof on top. So that's how those are going to go. Once we've got them all out, and probably need to wait another couple of hours just for them to set a bit more firmly. Top's got an overhang. That's so that it can sit in. So it's just a case of getting out one corner and then we should be right, but make sure it's that it will still hold those there. This down and try and get it so that you can get a better idea. So there we go. So you can see there it is. I probably need to do maybe glue 3 of those sides in. But now we're going to go with the cat bar, and we're just going to try and fold this out. So just, and then trying to get that centre bit out. There we go. So there we go. There is the base. Now we just need to aim for the top of it. So right, here we go with the lid. Now again, it's going to have that lip. So I've got to get over that. Once you start going, you'll find out there's a. I might try some UV resin on that, but it fits on nicely. So it's just a case of filling those in somehow. But yeah, first try, not too bad. Okay, that just leaves the pink pen pot. I'm just gonna hang on a moment. Right, I saw somewhere that spraying isopropylene alcohol down here can actually help it demold, so we're going to give that a try and see how it goes. Oh, just hope to get it in there. Sorry, you're getting a close-up view of my hands right now, but that's because we're trying to do this demolding, and that's what you need to be seeing. Right, okay, let's see if we can. Well, now my hands are all wet and slippery, but it is certainly looking like it's coming out a lot easier, but it's just a case of getting some of it and just, there we go. So there, the alcohol does make it a bit easier, but wow, that's a challenge. Right, so there is a pen pot. Now you can see the glitter, a lot of it sunk, but still there's still a few flecks held within here, so it's not too bad. That is quite a nice pen pot. I like that. I'm sure the person who I'm going to gift it to will like it too. So you can just leave, now that I've sprayed alcohol in it, you just leave that off to dry, and it'll be fine, because the alcohol is fine with the molds. Now, I made this last night and I'm not sure. It looks like it's ready to demold, so we're gonna give it a try, because it is a dragon. It's matte. A matte dragon, not a glossy dragon. So it is a dragon container. I like that. That's very nice. What I might do is find where the dragon, there we go. I might actually get some of my paints and paint that dragon up a bit, because I think he'd look good. Especially now that I know that it's matte, I'm gonna give the dragon a bit of a paint job. And so I will add that to the end of this video so that you can see what he looks like painted up. So I will paint up the dragon and then I'll come back and we'll see where we're at. Okay, so I have now added a bit of bling to some of these. So I've just added a bit of silver onto this one here. I've added some little eyes onto the little dragons. I've demolded these ones. I did these last night and just gave them a little bit of extra paint. Same with the little cat. He sits over like a light switch or something like that. So with the candle one, I've added a bit of bling and secured it so that you can put the tea light candle just into the base there. Again, it would be an LED tea light because heat and resin don't really mix. With the little pen pot, I've just put a little bling around the top there. There's a little teddy bear here. I made a big one once. This is the littler one. Again, I've put the eyes on. I've put some diamantes around the pour container. And here is the dragon with his paint job. Okay, so that's the end of those projects. So stay tuned for more videos on future projects. And if you could hit the like button and subscribe. And if you hit the bell icon, then it will notify you of any future video uploads. Have a good day. Bye.